friends and followers, this is Lena from Sweden, and I would like to talk about capitalism and why we are so stuck on it and possible ways out of it. So, okay, why this whole thing? Like, I don't have all the answers. I'm studying economics right now, but it definitely fascinates me about humankind, how we sometimes enjoy doing things that are bad for ourselves. We consider human beings to be so rational, so superior, and still it's like we walk around in life and just doing things that destroy us, that kill us. In many cases we call this freedom. What is capitalism? Of course, it's not like one easy way to explain it, and in the whole world right now, capitalism has so many tools and subsystems that it's not just one thing. There are definitely institutions and mechanisms that work to serve a small economical elite, and that is also destroying our only home right now. So how did this happen? What can we do? I would like to try to break down the brainwash we have that keeps us in this position, and I would like to compare our relationship to capitalism with codependency. Okay? I have some personal experience of codependence, and I think it's so fascinating to see how this kind of psychological and emotional mechanism can actually be spotted on other levels, like on political levels. Because it seems like we have a codependence to the current economical system and the economical elite. So I'd like to break it down to a few points and have a look at that. Maybe we should look at the situation that we're in. Like if I'm with a partner in a codependent situation, if I'm with a partner that is bad for me, that is possibly hurting me, that is oppressive or abusive, the rational thing would be to leave. If we are in an economical system that doesn't serve us, that hurt us, that is killing the planet, the rational thing would be to leave. So why do we stay? A common denominator I see in both cases would be that we don't really see any options anymore. If we look at a woman who is in a destructive relationship, we might ask ourselves oh, but why doesn't she leave? It's so obvious that he's hurting her, and probably we forget that her reality is different now, just like ours in our minds, where we, for example, might not even see any options anymore. We might think that we don't deserve anything else. We might not know what anything else would even look like. So we stopped trying to look for options. And what if I asked you for options to capitalism and the current economical system? Would you even know any other option? My guess is that you really don't, and that the only option we were taught to see is the economical system that was in past Soviet and Eastern Europe, that was not democratic and that broke down. So I definitely think we are stuck in that sense of being constantly told and also constantly accepting, because this is our responsibility to accept that there are no options to capitalism. This is the only thing we can do. Humankind is so potent, but we're only able to come up with one economical system, right? The second part, the fears. Let's have a look at the fears. Of course, any change can provoke fear, and we might look at what reality could be if we left the regime that we're in, and that might scare us. But it's good to start to call out our own fears, because usually, this is very interesting, what we fear the most has already happened. If we are in a bad situation like this, let's say we're with an abusive partner and we fear them hurting us if we leave. This usually means that this is already happening. Maybe it already happened, or there were threats of this happening, or we are already letting the risk of this happening control us. So it's kind of already happening. Our fears to leave capitalism, what are they? That we're going to suffer? We're already suffering. That we're going to die? We already see that we're going to die according to the facts about the state of our planet right now. People are also dying already because of capitalism in so many ways that there isn't even time to go into that now. We might also have developed some kind of sympathy with the oppressor. This is so interesting because this can happen in a personal relationship, and it can also happen to an elite group that we identify with, maybe through nationalism or through economics, that we've learned to feel sympathy with this economical elite and fear, like, but what would they do if we changed all of this? Like the billionaires and the superstars and the powerful people that we kind of respect too much, that we have like an unhealthy relationship to, like what would they do? We might also fear repercussion from them, like they would have some kind of tantrum and take measures that would hurt us. They are already hurting us. Okay, so I think it's very healthy to question this sympathy that we might have with the elite. Also, of course, here nationalism can play in a lot, where we identify with the economical elite of our own country instead of like working class or middle class of other countries that might not share our race. This is a classic political theory, so you can check that out. We might also ask ourselves if there is something in the current system that we are actually getting out, like, no, I like it too much, like I'm getting something out for me and I don't have to take responsibility if I stay in an oppressive situation. You know, if I stay with someone or within a system where I don't really have to take responsibility and just let the oppressor decide, I can kind of not have to own up to my freedom, my real freedoms in life, right? And maybe this is where I would like to like close this clip, because it's kind of a question I think we need to ask ourselves. Why are we accepting this economical system? I guess all of you watching my clips, for example, live in democracies where we actually claim to have the freedom of deciding over society. And so many generations before us have fought to give this power to the people. So are we gonna just sit back and let the current economical system wipe everything out? Economical growth before survival? I'm studying economical history now. I'm learning a lot of how we got where we are, and I've seen this very human trait also, that we as a species invent things to serve us, but we start serving them or it. And this goes for money as well. Like we invented money, different cultures like the Greeks, the Romans, and it just like became very useful. Asia and America. So currencies of many kinds appeared, and they were invented to serve humankind, and now we are serving money. So I think this goes for a lot of things in relation to human beings. Just take like technology, like smartphones. They were invented to serve us, and like 10 years later we are serving them. We are spending so much time on our phones that they're kind of hijacked our lives. So do we want this? What do we want to do? Do we want the economical system to serve us, or do we want to keep on serving it? Take that question with you. Thank you.